Two. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on a life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you, I had your life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me, but that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name, now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas, not knowing that them handcuffs custom made. Respected by stand-up niggas, not knowing that them handcuffs custom made. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head to make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap, I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court. Found the DC school, I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and I started running fast. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, but I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. It's UPK until it hit the fam. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jam. Shit, I needed help. But Swan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Had me crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie and pump smoke. One time for the most high, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Then God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Praise
Shalom Israel. We're the ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General Yohana, 1969, we're established. Where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. In fact, if you're not under Commanding General Yohana and ISUPK, you're simply not of the truth. I'm Officer Qadash Par 50. It's Power Quad Kamash Yum. That's a 50. I'm here to teach the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class. And Lashawan Qadash means holy tongue, of course. And, we have it up on a chart. Here's a chart for Lashawan Qadash. Of course, we have it up on the board. We're going to talk a little bit today about the Passover and some of the words associated with it. And before we get into that, we're going to get into some preliminaries, and we're going to get into some other vocab also. We're going to get into some vocabulary that we had left over from Sabbath services that my camp leader wanted me to go over, and that's what I'm going to do there for a second. As people check in, this is a Passover time, and we'll Passover will be in Houston, Texas. We want to make sure you guys understand to govern yourself accordingly. Get with your camp leader, get with one of these officers, so you'll know, because Passover's next week. It's going to happen. Let's lock it for a second. Lock it. Yes, it's going to happen April 24th, of course, in Houston, Texas. I see we have people checking in. Let's see. Kazio Gaines, Largo, Maryland. Let's see what we got here. Who else checking in here? Kazio Gaines. I'm not quite sure, Kazio from Maryland, whether you're a man or woman, I don't know. You use two salutes. You use the man salute. How about Shem Yahushua Brakatham? How Shemar Alathah by Shem Yahushua is a woman salute. So which one? You type in there whether you're a woman or a man, So I'll understand and know when I address you in the chat, okay? I believe Kazio Gaines there. So there's other people check in. I know that's not your Hebrew name, so I want to give you credit for your name, so at least let me know what we're dealing with here. Glad you can join class for us too. Get in class, So if you're listening to me, Kazio Gaines, I believe that's your name you said, let me know. All right? You used two check-ins. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's see what you got. I'm a man. Okay, I thought we'd say that to the Aquaf. No, you don't have to. You don't have to say that to the Aquaf. That's my job to say that to the Aquaf. All you got to do is just report who you are as a man. As a man, let's reiterate some things. As a man, what you want to say, if you're a young man, or up-and-coming trooper, you say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Okay? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. And for the women, of course, what you want to say is Yahweh Shamar Alathah Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. But as you're a man, you don't want to speak for the woman in that sense unless you're teaching it and trying to tell people how to say it, but you're not a teacher, so let me do that. Okay, if you don't mind, I appreciate that. The water, sir. Okay, good. Very good. Appreciate that. Very good. Appreciate that. He says he's a man and I'm good. That's good. It's good, Kazio. I don't know if I had that right. But anyway, what we're starting out today we're going to go over some stuff that we had for class in the vocabulary. When we talked about when we do cyber class, sometimes we go over the first thing we're going to do before we go over that, before we go over vocab, let's do this. Let's see, we're going to go over some vocab, yeah. Let me use a better pencil there. Vocab. We're going to go vocabulary. Okay? Yeah, okay. And before we do that, we're going to go over some things that we go over every week to make sure you guys understand and are abreast. This is the Hebrew class, you know? And we learn our holy tongue here from there. If you learn enough words in Hebrew, then you'll begin to understand the language better, of course. Then you'll be able to understand what the Bible said, because it's written in Hebrew. It's also written in Greek. Also, when we were in captivity, we were we went up to there, and we were called, of course, Gentiles when we went there. You know, our brothers, Judah, Benjamin, Levite, considered all the nations that went up to the Greek-speaking nations. No, that's Hellenistic, you know. But anyway, the Bible's written in Greek also. But here we teach in Hebrew only. You know, maybe a day we get into other things. But anyway, the Hebrew chart, this is what it looks like, okay? Hebrew, I don't know if there's enough people in chat, but there are, how many, Hebrew has what we call characters. Ba, Gada, Hawa, if you can follow me on the chart here. Hawa, Zaka, Taya, Kala, Manasa, Ipataza, Kwarashata. Okay, that's the pure language up top. That is called Paleo-Hebrew, okay? That's Paleo. Paleo-Hebrew. It's Paleo-Hebrew. Why is it called Paleo-Hebrew? Because the paleontology or whatever that is, paleo, just old. It means old, as far as I'm concerned, what it means. And paleo, these are the characters. Back then, we had characters. And the characters were pictures. Like the A, like a sideways A, up, down, B, and so on and so forth. The G, the D. Some of these things make sense, some of them don't. But anyway, they're like a shield, like a backward C, like an L, la. Okay? So if you follow these and learn this chart, it will behoove you to learn the chart so you'll understand how to speak the Hebrew, okay? Let's see. What else? The bottom row here, or this middle row, is called Assyrian. And the Assyrian Hebrew, right there. Assyrian Hebrew, okay? That is the Hebrew that we learned while we were in captivity. I'm sorry, we didn't learn it. That they took from us and labeled and gave their characters while we were in captivity with the Assyrians, you know. When you remember Daniel and the Lion's Den and all those nations there, that Assyrians. They gave us these characters here. They don't look anything like the original paleo. That's what you need to know. So like a Z, like some sort of little T, like a Ka. Like we got a ladder. That's what it's supposed to look like. You know, look what this look like. All our symbols mean something. You know, Pa, I, Pataza, Kwarashata. But none of these look like any of these. None of the paleo look like anything in Hebrew, Assyrian Hebrew. They both have the same 22 characters. Paleo has 22 characters, okay? 22 of them. Just like your language that you use in America, you have 26 characters, or 26 alphabet. We call them 22 characters. Now, they both have the same amount of characters in Paleo Hebrew. Only difference is, and they sound the same. You know, Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zaka, Tayakala, Manasa. Kwarashata, Manasa. Okay? But they look totally different because this is the way the Assyrians wrote their language right here. And of course, when we were in captivity, this is what they wanted us to do. Okay. Also, the Assyrian has ending characters. The first one starts with a ka. Then they have a ma. Then they have a na. They have a pa. And then a taza. Meaning this. Well, I'll get to that for a second. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get it. Meaning this. You know, if you're doing a word in say like in Hebrew is bond, means, you know, brother, or son. I'm sorry, son. And of course, you can always, and of course, you have bath or banaf in the Assyrian and Hebrew, Paleo. You know, but bond. So if you was to spell bond in Paleo, it will look like this, like this, like that. B, okay. Then it will be an A. I'm sorry, no it wouldn't. Then it would be a N, like that. Bond. You drop the A. Sorry, it's lucky. Okay, but if you, that's in Paleo. Now, if you were to write that in Assyrian, it will look like this. It will look like this. Well, if I can get a good pen to write. Okay? It will look like this. Bond. But only instead of writing the N like that, we don't do that. We drop that. It wouldn't look like that. Because in Assyrian Hebrew, that N is one of the ending characters. And that's what I'm discussing right now. It's one of the ending characters. And one of the ending characters. So that ending character will really look like this. You know? Like that. Sort of like that. Okay? That's Assyrian. This is Assyrian. This is Paleo. That's the difference. That ending character there. But before, that ending character, that N should have looked like this. However, because it occurs, the ending character occurs at the end of that word right there, bond. Okay, son of. Let's see who else we got checked in. D'Angelo Moore. Okay, Shalom, check in from Columbia. Okay, D'Angelo Moore. You know, we got to get your name too, so keep checking in the class, D'Angelo. Okay? On Hebrew. And of course, when you learn Hebrew, you know, this will carry you a long way, of course, to your officer also. You have to learn this to understand. If you want to become an officer, you have to learn Hebrew. I mean, it would help you, it would behoove you to learn this, okay? To become an officer. Just give you a heads up. So that's why you want to study. So the word bond, or like you would say, Kazakh Shapar, Ban Yahweh, that means Kazakh Shapar. You know, the strong sound, the strong Shapar, strong sound, strong voice. That means son of Yahweh or son of Judah. So when we say bond, that's the word right there. People or son. You know, like this. Like that. Okay, son. Okay, but like I said, reiterate, bond. For the Paleo, we have connectors. And you guys have any questions, you know, type them in the chat. Type them in the chat. Let's see what we got in there. I like to communicate in my class. That is a connector. And that connector right there. Let's go with that. That connector was called, we have two types of connectors in Paleo Hebrew. We have one connector, let's see, upside down. Let's do the other one first. Independent like that, and independent like that. So we have independent Done. Okay? That's this one right here. Okay, the dependent connector, and then we have what you call an independent connector. A dependent connector. Dependent connector. These are connectors, and they're all connectors. Why do we need the connectors? Let's lock you for a second. Why do we need connectors? Very good, Don. I appreciate that. Let's lock you for that. Why do we need connectors in Hebrew? Well, we need connectors so that we can connect our words, connect our sounds. Not words. Connect these sounds. All these sounds right here, without a connector, you wouldn't know how they really sound. So here, like right here, when you see me use a U, that's connecting the B, the A, and the N together. The bond, son. That's dependent connector is what that is, okay? If I want to make that independent, then I would say like this. Let's use the word banath. Let's say ba, and I'm going to say, let's use na. Na, ba, na. Then we're going to use tha. Okay? Now in Hebrew, in the paleo, we're gonna go paleo, okay? I'm gonna get you confused. This is a, it's paleo. Let me get this right here. Okay, just like that. This is the paleo right here. This word right here, that is banath. Banath. That's what a woman would say for her name. It's daughter, or you can say bath. Either one is acceptable there. Bath, banath. Okay? All right. So, you want to say ba, you want to use an independent connector because you want the B to sound by itself right here. By itself. Just like that. Ba, and then you want to join the tha and the N and the tha. So you want to do a dependent connector. This one right here. Okay? That's a dependent connector. That's an independent, dependent. That's how you use the paleo language, okay? Because, let's lock you there. Trying to make this. And then you say, well, where did he get these symbols, man? All you got to do is go over here to the chart. You know, the B right here. Ba. Okay? That's this B right there. And I use an independent connector on it because I want to sound by itself. That's really all you're doing. Ba. And I want to say na. It doesn't carry the end of the word, so you use this one right here. Na. Right there. And tha. Tha doesn't have an ending character, so you just say tha. Right there. Okay? Banath. You use a dependent connector to connect the N and the tha. That's how that's done. And it's done that way so you can understand how to pronounce it. That's why most of these false, fake Jews in Israel right now, really, it wasn't meant for them anyway. When they stole our language, they didn't even have the understanding that, why not just copy exactly what they did? If you did, then you wouldn't need, we wouldn't need you. You would need us, of course. That's why the Lord says separate from you. Anyway, those are not the real Jews, though. Those are fake descendants of Esau, okay? And they are the ones who use the Assyrian language right now, the Assyrian Hebrew right now, okay? We study it because it's our language, because they've taken some things and translated some things of that, so we have to know what it's saying. So the Assyrian language, Hebrew language, doesn't have connectors, so it's hard to understand sometimes. We teach it, but if you want to know the pure language, you learn the ancient Hebrew, and you learn it in conjunction or together with. Always learn it in together with. Just lock you for a second. Okay, there we go. Learning it together with the paleo, the Assyrian. So that's how that's done. That's the reason why we have to teach the Assyrian language. You know, that normally would go there. We do the Assyrian language because without it, you really wouldn't understand. Without the paleo, you wouldn't understand the Assyrian language. The Assyrian characters of the Hebrew, I'm sorry. So because we give the breakdown, we understand what the independent connectors are. You saw? So those Yiddish people over there, they don't even pronounce these correctly. They got some things in there that I can't even pronounce. I don't even try to understand it. So that's okay, that's one thing. You see, let's go stop for class for a second. We'll say this. We use the Holy Bible in ISUPK, okay? The King James Version, okay? I have one of the original Bibles, 1611. That's what that says. See that right there? The 1611, King James Version. In it, the Apocrypha, it has the Old Testament, it has the Apocrypha in it. You say, what in the world's Apocrypha? Just in case people who don't know. But if you're not ISUPK, you should know that. But the Apocrypha, you know, is the hidden books. That's what it's called. You have the book of Ezra, you have Judah, Tobit, you have Maccabees, you know, all these books which the Catholic Church tried to take out. But here it is right here. It's Esdras right there. See? They couldn't take this. This is the original Bible right here. That's the original translations out from Dead Sea Scrolls that the Most High allow King James to translate in the Bible, okay? And then we use that. We don't use any other version because it's not our Bible. This is a matter of our record, man. This is our record. This is who we are. And sometimes you may see this King James Version. I'll get into this right here. Sometimes you may see it, not King James Version, but let's see, Salaki a second. Salaki, sorry about that. Sometimes you may see we use an Apocrypha like this. That's what this is in the middle. That's what these are. This was actually set in here. It's in this particular version because this is 1611, like I reiterate. It's the original, okay? It was in there. The Catholic Church had to lie, steal, cheat, and do everything. And that's why it was published right here, the Apocrypha. Apocrypha means hidden books. That's what it means, okay? Just thought you guys would know that to understand. So when you read out of it, you're reading out of that. You're reading all of this Hebrew out of that Bible. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you type them in the chat, okay? Now, let's get into some other things right here. Now that we understand Hebrew, there are 22 characters in both. Oh, by the way, I'm slacking. There are 2 vowel sounds. Does anybody in the chat know what they are? Just curious. Just see, we got some new people in the chat here. D'Angelo, Kazio, some other people here. If you could for me, tell me how many vowels are in the Hebrew language for Assyrian, and Paleo. Since we got 22 characters, but how many vowels are there? How many? See if y'all can remember. Put on your thinking cap, you know. You know, stretch that memory. How many vowels are there in Hebrew? Okay? All right? How many are there? We'll give you guys a chance to think about that. How many vowels? Let's lock you there. How many? I mean, you know, let's see if y'all got that. See what the brothers got here. Y'all, okay. All right, let me, I'm glad I said that. All right. You know what I'm going to give you? I'm going to give you an A for effort. I'm going to clap it up for effort. I have no problem with that. There's no right or wrong answer. The problem is, I'll correct it for you, okay? But of course, absolutely, there is a right answer, but that's, as far as trying, there is no right or wrong way for trying. So really, when you say 5, I think what you're saying is ending characters, right? Put con in there. I think you thought I meant ending characters. That's why I leave room for making sure that I did something wrong. I said vowels. I'm not saying how many ending characters are there. I'm not saying how many ending characters, okay? Because there are 5 ending characters. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying how many okay, there you go. Let's see. How many vowels are there? Yeah, D'Angelo and Kazio and some other brothers in there and sisters. How many vowels are there? Now 5 is ending characters. You got that right, exactly right. And they look, and I'll show you what they look like here. Since we're on that, I'll show you what those ending characters look like on the board. Okay, just in case you can't see the chart well, let's show you what the ending characters look like. So that's important. 5, let's see. Let's see the first one. We go to the first one over here. It's like this. It's a ka. Like that. The ending character looks like that. Well, let's make it look right. Okay. All right. How many? I'll let you guys, let's see. How many? Okay. Tell me how many. I know y'all know how many ending characters are there, but tell me how many vowels. Now, I'll tell you in a second. How many vowels are there? Okay. How many vowels? So we'll give you guys a few more seconds there, so you guys can say how many vowels, and I'll actually tell you. But the ending characters look like this. Okay. We got ka. We got ma. Sort of like that. Sort of like that. Okay. Or, you know, if you wrote anything that resemble that, then that's what it looks like. That's a ma. That's the at the end. If this occurs at the end when you're reading it, you can bet it's a ma. If this occurs at the end, you can bet it's a ka. And of course the pa for ending characters only now. We're talking about the ending characters right here. There are 5 of them. We're doing the 5 right now. Okay? All right? That's a P. The P is one of them. And then we have, oops, I'm sorry, before we get to the P, I forgot one there. I do the N, I'm sorry, the na. Okay, sorry. The na looks like that. Then you have the pa. Okay, for ending characters, all right, pa, like this. And then we have the taza. That's the last one, taza. Okay, taza sort of looks like sort of like that. Okay, those are the 5 ending characters. Okay, that's what you meant, my brothers. However, there are 2 vowels. There are actually 2 vowels in the Hebrew. Can y'all guess what those 2 vowels are? There's 2 vowels, and what are they? We'll give you a chance to write in there what they are. Take your time. I mean, you get it from the chart. You say Abagada, Hawazaka, Tayakala, Manasa, Kwarashata. You see it. You hear it. You should be able to hear it. Abagada, Hawazaka, Tayakala, Manasa, Ipataza, Kwarashata, Manasa. What 2 vowels are there? You hear them in there, right? Kazio, and he's exactly right. Exactly right. That's he said let's clap it up for him. Clap it up for that brother there. You put hand claps in there if you want to. That's right. Don't be ashamed of that. That's fine. That just lets me know you learned it, okay? So, the two vowel sounds are the ah and the I. Exactly right. The ah in Hebrew, paleo, looks like that. In the Syrian, it looks like this. Okay? Jesus, I did that wrong again. Salakia. Ah like that, and the ah like that. Sorry. And the paleo, let me do this in another color so we get confused here. I get confused. Okay. The I in paleo looks like an O, okay? These are two vowel sounds. And then the other one, of course, you know, when you're looking for an I right here, and it looks like this. That's what you see on the chart. When you see those vowel sounds, that's all you're going to hear in the Hebrew. There you go, John Joe. There you go. There you are, bro. That's exactly right. Exactly right. I appreciate that. Because we learned. That lets me know you guys learned. Okay? So what we learned so far. The Hebrew has 5 ending characters. Okay? 5 of them. In the Assyrian. Assyrian only. So let's make sure we get this right. Assyrian Hebrew has 5 ending characters. 5 ending characters, okay? That's important because you're going to read words that have those characters at the end of them. And if you don't know what they are, you'll be stumped. But now when you see them, let's see who else we got checking in class here. We got UPK Shah, glad to have you in, bro. Get your pencil and paper and participate with the 2 other brothers. Young men and troopers. I'm not sure which ones, but I know everybody's trying to be a trooper. That's why I'm writing your name down. Matter of fact, there's a sign-in sheet sometimes, you know, but I write it down also. Anyway, those ending characters, ka, ma, na, pa, tazah, in the Assyrian Hebrew only, and Assyrian Hebrew only. Can't reiterate that more than once. At the end of a word, these characters might occur. If they're there, I mean, if you have a word, like I said, I used that one word before. I used the word like ban, which means brother. I mean son, sorry, Shalaki. Son of. Okay? Ban. All right? Okay? And you want to use, you want to know how that looks in Syrian Hebrew? It would look like this. Okay? And it will look like you have to grab one of these ending characters. And there's the one right here. You got to grab this one. The na. Because that's what this is. That's an N. So that's not hard to do. So let's just go over there and grab this N right here and do that. There are no connectors in Assyrian Hebrew, you know. So there you go. All right. Separate this over here so you guys won't get confused right there. Okay. Well, we're over here. 5 ending characters. You use the word ban. At the end of it occurs an N. So you have to use the ending character right there and say ban. That's how you use the Assyrian language. It spells different. It looks different. We have Sister Adrian in class. All right, good to have you, Sister Adrian. Akwath. And good to have you in class. When we use the word ban, which means son in Hebrew, Okay, the 5 ending characters, and it doesn't hurt to reiterate this over and over again at all. I mean, you're gonna always be using stuff like this. In this case, you have the na occurs, like I said, at the end of bond. There it is right there. There's an N. That's what that is. That's what this N is right here. That's what that N is, okay? That's why it's there. All right? All right. Because we know, let's see. I took the time out to do that. And the guys, y'all write this down in your notes. Now, you know you got 5 ending characters, 5 of them. 5 ending characters. Okay? 2 vowel sounds, which is the ah and the I. 2 vowel sounds, and 5 ending characters. And then, of course, now that brings us, again, I'll reiterate again, if you want to use the paleo over here, we say ban in Hebrew. Over here, you have to say, you got to use another character. And you have to use the top line over here. That's B. And that's really all it is. What line, which one of these lines you use? Right, Asha? Right, Adrian? Right? Exactly right. Right, D'Angelo? Right, Kazile? In Paleo, in Assyrian, look different. So in Paleo, only have what we call connectors. Okay? Connectors only. I go over this every class so you guys can get used to it. So you'll beat me to the punch. Once you start writing it down and telling me, then I know you've learned. So, and it's important to know this, all right? Good. I appreciate y'all participation in class. That is important. It's important to me to let you know that you're learning, doing my job, okay? Bond in Paleo. And over here, it doesn't have any ending connectors, so you ain't got to worry about this over here. You ain't got to worry about the Syrian connectors. Not in Paleo. We'll put a line through the board here. I mean, I want you guys to really get this, because all the words are going to be the same way. Because once you get it, you got it. Okay? So we'll use, and I want you guys to understand that we're using the word bond, then you go to here. We'll find me a decent pen here. Okay? There. All right? There's bond. Now I want y'all to understand what kind of connector would I use here? Independent or dependent for that word? I just wrote it on the board. I'm going to see if you guys are paying attention to me, okay? What kind of connector would I use? Independent or dependent? In other words, you have to have a connector. You have to have a connector for paleo. So what would I use? I'll take your time, write it in there. Just go ahead and write it. Don't worry about the wrong answer. Just write. I'll correct you. Don't worry about that. Just write. Okay? Slack you for a second. Sorry about that. What kind of connector would I use here for bond? In the Paleo Hebrew. Right here. Which means son. Because we're going to move on in a second here. So we'll make sure you guys get this idea. Let's see. Kazio says the U. Okay, now we got Kazio, what do you mean when you say a U? What does that mean? Does that mean you trying to do this? I think you're trying to say this right here. Are you trying to say this? And I saw D'Angelo said independent. Am I right or wrong? Y'all type in the chat there. Let's make sure I understand what y'all saying over there. Kaziel said the shape. Yeah. That's right. Kaziel says shape. Yeah, you're right, Kaziel. You're right. Let's clap it up for Kaziel. Kaziel's right. It is a dependent connector. He was trying to say like a U. But you don't have to say U, Kaziel. Just say I or D. You know, always use, in this class, when we say independent, dependent, no, you don't know. You didn't know. Just use, say, I or D. Independent or dependent. And I'll know what it is. Okay? Let's see, who else we got signing in the class over here? DeQuan Curse, all right. Good. Good to have you in, Quan. Up and coming trooper over here. Okay. Kind of got off. Now we're going to get on to some, and I'm glad we got this, ending characters. Okay, we're going to get on to some Passover words here for you to understand. But before I do that, I'm going to go over a word that we did in class. I mean, I seem like we're getting a lot of participation out of these words. That's good. I'm going to go over a word that we did in Bible class here. Okay? What it meant before we get into some other stuff. And I was told to translate it. And that's what I want to get into. The word, you know, when Laban was getting his, giving out his 2 daughters to Jacob. That's right, Adrian. Clap it up and clap. He's giving out his daughters. Some words were used like Galed. Okay? Which meant really the same thing as Gilead. There's a mountain called Gilead. That stuff means something in Hebrew. It means something to us. There's a word called mitzvah. Or they say it's mitzvah, but really the word is matazapa. So we're gonna say it's like M-I-Z. I'm gonna show you where a lot of people get confuncted on that word. The word really in Hebrew actually is ma tazapa. Right here. Ma tazapa. All right? Like that. All right? And Gilead, of course, is nothing, just, it's a place, it's a mountain now, you know. It's a place where a covenant was made between Laban and Jacob, because they was always fighting, or really he was basically putting his son-in-law down, making him work 7 years for Leah and 7 years for Rachel. And you know, Jacob said he got tired of this. He said, look here, come on now. How many years have I worked for these 2 women? These are my wives now. Leave them alone. Hey, look, I don't have sex with them. They ain't my wives. They ain't your daughters no more. They ain't still his daughters, but you know, hey, look, on the real, these are my wives. Okay, so they were making Gilead. The word means, you know, it's like a pile of stones, or galed, and because they were making what we call a heap of stones. And we'll get into the word. The word is like this: Galaad, Galaad, okay? Galaad. In Hebrew, that is in the Assyrian, by the way. And I'll write it, oh man, God, I tell you, pens are messed up here. And the Assyrian, let's take our time and do this one right here. In the Assyrian, that word, what it means is really just a pile of stones. Because the pile of stones was a commemoration to let them know that, look, man, we're making a covenant, man. We ain't going after each other's throat no more. And that's basically what it is. and they call that a heap. A heap. A heap. And a heap, it says, and that word is, and for this heap will be like gall, okay? It's hagadol, a hagadol of this heap. You may say ha, which is a preposition, and you want to say the heap or this heap, hagal, okay? Lord, spell that right. So we're gonna say this heap. Okay, that meant like a pile of stones. In other words, it means this heap is like a gathering of rocks. A heap of stones is used as a witness. Used as a witness. Now, how you do that? Used as a witness, okay? Write this down in your notes. What that really meant was that it's almost like with a land surveyor, in which I did land surveying. Okay, I was a land surveyor, by the way. That's what in engineering, that's what you do. A heap of stones, I mean, they would take stuff like to make a marker or a pillar or an identifier. They would take like gatherings of rocks like that. And of course, I'm pretty sure they that was a commemoration is what it was. And we ain't talking about Passover now. We're talking about I'm just saying this because my camp leader wanted me to go over to what this meant. Stones, okay? A heap of stones. I remember my grandmother would say, go over there and get me a heap of rocks. I didn't even know what it meant when I was 19 years old. That's the Hebrew coming out of us, I imagine. A heap. I've always known it to mean a gathering. Gathering. Give me a heap of leaves, a heap of stones, a heap of so on and so, a heap of apples. It's a gathering of something. In this case, it's a gathering of stone. To commemorate, this heap is used as a witness. And surveyors sometimes use this as a marker to delineate or show where the corners of the property are. In this case, it was a commemoration to show that, look, I'm tired of argument. It was a covenant showing it to the Most High. A heap of stone on Mount Gilead, which is a pile of stones. That word, Galaad, okay, and or Hagal, and Misfah. We'll show you what that means in a second. That's all it meant. It meant that they were taking a understanding of the covenant on Mount Gilead, which is in place today, I believe, between Jacob and Laban. Okay, that's what it meant. It's a memorial, I believe it's east of Jordan. It's a cairn, east of Jordan, okay? Heap of stone is used to ratify a covenant. And the Most High, recognized that because it was a covenant made for two people to say, look, here we put aside all our differences. You take your wives and go about your business. And so that's what it was. We're not going to argue no more about this matter. Okay, this is who Jacob had his wife. That's where the 12 tribes of Israel come from. Jacob had the children. They come from, he had Rachel and Leah. And all those tribes came out of there. I'm not mistaken, okay? So, now, in the word mitzvah, let's get to that one. Or matazapah. Okay, we'll get on this real quick here because I want you guys to understand what that meant. Give y'all a chance to write that down on the board. To write that down. You'll find that, by the way, in Genesis, the 31st chapter. Let's read the whole chapter when you get a chance. Read Genesis 31. Just read the whole chapter because that's what we read in Sabbath class when we go over it in Sabbath class and we show you what's going on. The whole chapter of Genesis 31 talks about what these words here. Gilead, or Mount Gilead, that's where this came from. In the Syrian right here I have it. I can write it in Paleo, but it's, Galaad, I'm sorry. Over here is Hagal, for heap, or heap of stone, heap of rocks. It's a commemoration or corner marking. Pretty much like people make with a grave. They put a marking, okay? But in this case, it's a commemoration of a covenant. It's a ratified covenant between two people. Okay, and that's what happened to Jacob. That's what happened between Jacob and Laban. Okay, I thought I'd just write that. Okay, let's get to what this word right here, mitzvah, means. Mitzvah is really not spelled mitzvah. That's where the Germans, the Yiddish people pronounce it. That's why you got to pay attention and get in class. And the word is really pronounced, instead of mitzvah, it's matazapa. 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 Okay? So, and what it means is it's a watchtower. It just means a watchtower. It's a lofty place. Laban said to the Lord, I believe you find that in Genesis 31 and 49. We'll write that one down here. Genesis 31 and 49. You write that down. Some good bit of information right here. 31 and 49, where Laban said, the Lord watched between me and you. He was talking about Jacob. You know, you find that a lot of people use that term, but what it means is that he was talking to Jacob. Jacob, that's what Laban was saying. The Lord watched between you and me. In other words, the Lord watch over us. It's a watchtower. Not shamar necessarily, it's just a watchtower, to watchtower. It's like this word means it's like a loft, like I said, a lofty place where Laban said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. And that's what matazapa means, and a lot of people mistake and call it mitzvah. And of course it's spelled in Hebrew like this. Ma, like that. Ma, okay. Tazah, and then we have a pa, and then we have a ha. And you notice there's no ending character, so there's no reason to get to jump in here and find an ending character over here, because the P doesn't occur at the end. If it did, it would look like this P right here, okay? Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. Then we'll move on here to some Passover words, because the Passover is coming up, and that's why, I titled a class Passover in vocab, and we go into the vocab. We give you guys a chance to write that down. To reiterate again, this was like in Sabbath class where we learned Jacob and Laban right here. Gilead, or Gilead, Mount Gilead. Galaad, pile of stones, that would happen to be on what the mountains call Gilead, or Gilead, Mount Gilead, really, or Gilead, okay? And he gathered a heap of rocks. They used as a witness, and they said, the Lord watched. Let's see, who else we have over here? Natasha Moliere, okay. Rib of Kwan, glad to have you in class, sister. Y'all take these down. Anyway, that's what we read in Sabbath class last Sabbath. And Officer Nakazai wanted me to put it on the board and show you what it meant. Gilead, pile of stones are gathering, like I said, commemorate. Okay, we'll give you guys 15 seconds to write that down, and then we're going to move on to this word right here. We're going to move on to a word, Passover. Matter of fact, let me get this off the board before you mistake the two, because this ain't got nothing to do with the Passover right here. That was just something I wrote down. Hope you guys got that. If you didn't, rewind the tape. We're going to get into the Passover, a little bit about the Passover. Like I said, glad to have two new students here that I've seen, Kazio and D'Angelo. Okay? Striving for your Hebrew name to stay in class. You check in South Carolina class all the time. Ask questions in the chat if you don't know. I appreciate you so far, guys. All right? All right. We have the word Passover. Pass over. All right. That word in Hebrew is I think it's pasak. Let me go back over and get this word here for it. Yeah, pasak. Pasak. Okay? That's the word, pasak. All right? In Hebrew, and we'll ask you guys, what is the Passover? Okay? And you'll estimate in the words in just a few words. You know, what is really Passover? What is that? So let's go over here and let's go over here and let's then we have sa. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then we have ka. Pasak. Okay? That's what that word looks like, all right? What is the Passover? In a few words here. What does it mean? I mean, you know, Pawar. Dequan, you say, oh, okay, you said Pawar. Okay, and the word is, I mean, you know, Passover is Pasak. I understand that, Dequan. All right, you'll find it. Let's read it. Let's just read it out of the Bible. Let's read what is the Passover. Let's read a little bit about it. Okay? Let's read what the Passover is. You find that Exodus 12 and 21. Let's just read it. The best way I know how to read it, best I know how to translate it is to read it. Let's see who else we have in class. Salakia, I think. Kazio Gaines, the water sis. Who you talking to? Cause Kazio Gaines, who you talking to? Who were you referring to? The water sis? I didn't know. Tell me about it. What you got going? And as I look up Exodus 12 and 21. Okay? When you said the water sis, what are you saying right there? What are you really saying? Who are you referring to? Okay? Anyway. Okay, Slaki, I think. Okay, I see what you're saying, Dequan. Yeah, you put Pasak. It's really Pasak. Okay? The word is really Pasak, okay? Well, let's read. Everybody in your Bible at home, turn to Exodus, the 12th chapter, 21st verse. Then Moses called for all of the elders, okay, of Israel, and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and kill the Passover. And that's exactly what we're doing in Houston, Texas. We're going to kill that Passover, man. It's a commemoration. We're going to read about it here in a second. And we're going to write some words associated with that. Lashawan, Qadash. Adrian gave me a handicap. Okay, all right, I got you. All right. That's all right. Y'all try to keep y'all comments addressed to class, okay? I have no problem with it. I appreciate y'all come back and forth so I'll know what you're saying, you know. But anyway, let's read that again. Exodus 12 and 21. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, man. And see, here, this is how you know, again, that Israel, of all the families of the earth, the Most High watches over us. He talks to Israel. He ain't talking about no other families in the world. He said, according to your families, man, and kill the Pasak. Kill the Pasak. Kill that Passover. But why? What's the point? What's the point? Anybody online? I mean, if you read along with me, you'll be able to tell me. Give me some key words. Why? Why? Why they need to kill the Passover? Where were we when we did this? Tell me, where were we? I want y'all to tell me, where were we when he told us to kill this Pesach? Let me see. Because he's saying, let's see. I mean, he's got it right in front of you here. Yeah. He told us, said, verse 21, he said, then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said it to them. Now, he called out all the old people of Israel and all of the stoots, and it says, draw out and take you a lamb. You might as well say an unblemished lamb. Okay, let's see who wrote that in the chat. Let's see what we got. D'Angelo, land of bondage, you did very good. That's very, as a matter of fact, he described what I was going to say. The land of Casio. And other brothers and sisters who got it right over there, clap it up for them. Exactly right. Egypt, that's where they were. Well, where in the hell are we doing over there in Egypt? Let's write that word down. Egypt. EYGPT. What are we doing over in Egypt? Okay, we're in captivity, of course. All right. We're in Egypt, right? Now, how do you say Egypt? Before we go on further, how do you say Egypt? He said the land of bondage. Land of bondage, he's right. Ashan, see a trooper Ashan over there. Aspiring officer right there, exactly right. Glad you checked in class. He said bondage. Well, that's right. We were in captive bondage. We were in bondage, man. We were in captivity. Stuck over there in a land called Egypt. Okay? Now, how do we say that word in Egypt? We were in bondage. Let me get some room over here. We were Egypt. Under the pharaohs. And who are Egyptians, by the way? What nationality are they? Somebody tell me what that is. Now, I know all my troopers in there know who nationality the Egyptians were. Who were they? House of slavery. That's right. That's right, Daquan. Clap it up. House of slavery, house of bondage. Exactly right. House of slavery. I'll accept that too. And who are these people? Who are the Egyptians? Who dared to put the children of Israel in bondage? Who were they? Okay, let's see what y'all got here. Let's see what y'all got. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Adrian, Daquan, Casio. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Clap it up in class. They put the clap in class. Y'all own it right now. Y'all own it. And ham. A slice of ham. One of the officers, I think Officer Obama said, a slice of ham. That's who they were. Them Hamites. Slice of ham. Ham sandwich. And of course in ham in Egypt, we call it matah. Let's see, make sure I get the word right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I thought that. Matazar yum. That's why I say pay attention to this, you up and coming officers. So you learn words in here. It's going to help you, all right, in your walk. Africans, Hamites, Ethiopians, I don't care about it. But actually, that's probably what they some of them claim to be now, some of the Egyptians, and what they really are, of course. But we're going to go with Martazarium. That's what Egypt was. Egypt is. I buy that, Daquan. I understand that. Ham. And Ham, and you also, his name in Hebrew, you call it Kam. Let's see. We'll put this in, we'll put, in Hebrew, we'll put Kam. Like that. I think it's like that, yeah. That's how you understand how to connect the language So once you know what it's called, like pazak, now you know how to write it. Ham, calm, now you know how to write it. So let's write it. Let's write it. How you write calm? So you write and you can write like that. This is paleo. We'll write it in paleo this time. Ka, that's the ka, and then we'll write an M. Okay, and of course we put a connector on it like this, like that. Or we can write it in Assyrian. We can write ham in Assyrian. We can write ka. You know, you go over here to the chart, look at ka, look over there. There it is right there. You say ka. Well, as soon as I find the right pen. Ka. Okay, in this case, now we have a dilemma. We have that M right there. That's where we get the ending connector. I mean the ending character. Just like that. Like that. Let's make this look a little better here. Just like that. That ending character right there. Kam or ham. And that is Assyrian. This in blue here is Assyrian. Okay? That's Assyrian. Over here is paleo. All right. Matazarium. We'll spell that word out. That's Egypt. Okay? We'll make sure you guys understand that. Okay? Africans. Hamites. Exactly right. They're the ones who had us in bondage. That's why the Most High told Moses, look here. We'll write Matazarium out in a second. That's why he told him, he said, look here. Arise, man. And he said this, when Moses called all the elders out of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to the families. According to your families, man. What families was he talking about? Somebody write in the chat, what families were he talking about? Name me one of them. Because there's a few. So I want in the chat, everybody, if you can, name me one of those families, okay? Name me one of those families. Kazio, that's the N-A, nah. That's the nah. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, right. That's the nah, exactly. Exactly right, Kazio. This is the nah. Matter of fact, let me put in another. I like your comment there because that lets me know this is the nah. Exactly right. I'll kind of put it over here in bold there. That is the nah. That's exactly right. That's the nah. Okay? Exactly right, Kazio. That is the nah. Matter of fact, let me write ham up here. That's the nah. Ham. Ham, and that is the nah. Exactly right. That's what this is right there. Nah. Okay? That's very important. It's good that you're saying that. D'Angelo, Adrian wrote Judah. Okay, good. Yeah. Kazio, like I said, that is the nah. Because it occurs. Goddamn. I see what you're saying. Calm. It's really the M. You caught me there. You caught me. You're exactly right. I see why. I wonder why you said that. It's not the nah. What am I saying? It's the ma. Good. That lets me know. Clap it up for him. Exactly right. Exactly right. Because Akshapar make oversight sometime. That's the ma. It should be like this. Like that. It's lucky. Apologize. Getting ahead of myself. It's lucky. Like that. So it's really the ma. It's lucky about that. Glad you had that, student. Glad you caught it. Good. That's right. That's how I know you're learning, Adrian. Yeah, exactly right. You're exactly right, Kazio. That's not the na, it's the ma. So calm. Calm means ham, and you use the ending connector ma, not the na. Oversight. I know better. I just getting ahead of myself. There's no excuse. I was wrong. Okay. You caught it. Good. Ma, okay? This is a Syrian right here. This is the Paleo. I don't know why I did it over here. I don't know why I had this just translated right there. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, check this out. Somebody said Judah so far. We got Judah. Who else? Come on. I know y'all know. We got Judah. Come on. I know y'all know some more. Y'all know some more. I know you do. The tribe of Judah. Name me some more. What are those tribes? He said the families, man. He said according to the families of Israel, that's what this verse says. 12:21, it says, Then Moses called for the elders of Israel and said unto them, Draw out and take you a lamb according to the families. What families? Well, one of them was Judah. Okay, or Yahwadah. Okay. Kazio Benjamin. That's right, bro. That's right. Kazio, you own it today, bro. Adrian, all y'all. Said Benjamin. All right. That's the one that Paul was in. I'm from the tribe of Judah, Yahweh. Of course, our Lord and Savior, Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, is from the tribe of Judah. Okay? All right. Name me a couple more before we go on. I just want to, make sure you guys understand that they were, of course, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what I'm trying to get at, okay? They were 12 tribes of Israel. That's how you know this Bible is for us. It's talking about us. It's always talking about us. If you ain't from the tribe of Benjamin, Levi, Gad, Asher, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, okay? Asher and Issachar. Salaki if I miss one. Gad, Manasseh, yeah. Then you're not part. There's no need to apply if you're not one of those 12 tribes. But that's what Moses was talking about. He wasn't talking about no other tribes on this earth. He's talking about the nation of Israel. This Bible is slated and earmarked. It's our history book for the 12 tribes of Israel. Let's see who else got something written in here. D'Angelo said Zebulun. Right. Adrian said Issachar. You got Zebulun, Issachar. All right. Issachar is, of course, the Mexicans. And Zebulun is Guatemala and Panama. Okay? So you got Issachar, or we call it Yashashakar. Okay? Issachar. You got, who else I say? What did y'all say? Zebulun. Oh, that's good enough. Good. So at least you know, when the Most High was talking about 12 tribes, it wasn't talking about Europe. It wasn't talking about Bolivia. It wasn't, it wasn't talking about Germany, France. It wasn't talking about those countries. And it wasn't even around anyway. Okay? It wasn't talking about no heathen country. Put it that way. It was talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? 12, all right? All right? 12 tribes of Israel and Israel alone. Shanya Asherah, 12. Shanya Asherah, okay? So, all right. That's what it was talking about, those 12. And the reason why is because we're going to read to, let's finish reading here. Let's finish reading on. All right. We go to, that ye say, let's see. It says, okay, here, let's go. And he shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it to the blood of the basin and strike the lintel and 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out to the door until the house until the morning. That's verse 22. In other words, get some blood, okay, put it in a basin, strike the lintel. That means put some blood over them doorposts. That's where the lintels hold up the doorposts, and the 2 side posts of the door, with blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out of that door. Go out of the door of his house of his bayath, that's what house means, until morning. And when the Most High said that, he means exactly what he say. If you didn't, you getting ready to get judgment. Because the Most High intended this judgment, just like this coronavirus right now is a judgment from the Most High. When the Most High says something, he means for you to do it. That's what he means. Okay? Let's finish reading here. All right. Verse 23. For the Lord will pass through, smite the Egyptian. What does smite mean in the audience? What does smite mean? Tell me. Write it down. What does it say? Let's put it in here. The Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood over the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door. That's where you get Passover, Pasach, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in your house to smite you. So what does smite mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Smite. Because Kazio said to kill. Damn right. Lord ain't playing around. When he say smite, he'll kill you. Clap it up, Kazio. When the Lord says that, he mean it. He mean, don't come out of that house, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, and all the other 12 tribes involved. Don't come out of there. Most High meant that. He's going to smote. He says smote or to smite, and that word for smite or smote, smite, or you can say smote. As a matter of tense there, is na, I think it's got. Like that, okay? N-A-G-A-P. Oops. Lock you. Like that. Nagat, okay? Let's lock you about that. Nagat. Let's erase some of this off of the board so I can see what in the world's going on. Nagat, okay? All right, Nagat. And of course, you spell Nagat just like it sounds. Na in Hebrew. We'll write it in Paleo first. Na, and then we'll write Ga, like that. Then we'll write, what am I trying to do here? Nagat, then we'll write a P. Okay, so we say na, and then we write ga, like that. We'll write an ending connector. We'll write connectors here because this is Paleo that I'm doing here. I'm mixing it up so you go back and forth so you'll learn the writings there, okay? Na, that's an N. Na, and then something like that. And then you want to, of course, join this gop together. You want to write na by itself over here, independent connector, independent. Then you want to write a dependent connector here because you want the ga and the pa to depend on each other for a sound. So it's nagap. That means to smite, to smoke. The Most High said, don't come out of there. Put that blood over the doorpost, over the lintel. And I'm pretty sure they went and got a lamb. And it was an unblemished lamb. It's for the Passover, man. You know, and that's what it's a commemoration of what the Most High wanted us to do. Okay, to deliver us. So he said, if you come out, we're gonna smite you. Because who was this smiting aimed at? Somebody type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. Who really was supposed to get smite or nagap? Who is this aimed at? Who did the Most High intended for this to happen to? Didn't intend for this to happen. That's why he told you, don't come out of the house. So who did he intend for this to happen to? Who was the Lord trying to smite? Type it in the chat. Who the Most High was trying to smite, guys? The Quran say punishment, slaughter. Yeah, I'd buy that. To strike, to kill, to punishment, slaughter. I'd buy all of that. To smite, to slaughter, to punish, to slaughter. Exactly. To smite, that's what nagab means. But who was the Lord, the Most High, intending to nagab, or smite, or smote? Who was he intending to do that to? You know? Who was he? What people? And why? Why? Why the Most High had to put us told to get in your house and don't come out? That's what this said right here. Says right here, verse 23. That's what it's saying. So who the Most High? Let's read it again. For the Lord will pass through and smite the Egyptians. That's who it was for. And when he sift the blood on the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come unto you. The destroyer, man, the Most High was sending out a destroyer to smite the Egyptians. Because Moses told him to let these people go. Because I got a promised land with milk and honey for them. I ain't got no more ham sandwich Egyptian for y'all. So we're gonna get y'all out of here. So they gathered up, and then it says, and ye shall observe the thing for an ordinance to thee and thy sons for when? For how long? Forever. The Most High said forever. That's why we're having the Passover in Houston. Because the Most High said, and he shall observe this thing for an ordinance. See, we have laws, statutes, commandments. You know, law, statute, commandment, an ordinance, a law, a statute, an ordinance, a commandment. The Most High said, do this. This is the thing that he ordains you to do for an ordinance. And he shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. That's what he said. All right, the Passover that we got out of Kam or Matazarium or Egyptians, okay? I'll spell that word out here in a second here. Which means Egypt or bondage. And it shall come to pass, verse 25, when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you according as he have promised, that ye shall keep this service. Even in our captivity, we keep the Passover. You don't just drop that down. When the Most High made a covenant, that's what he means. He made an ordinance, that's what he means. We have laws. We don't just have 10 commandments in this Bible. You know, we got more than that. We got laws, statutes, we got 613, I believe. So you don't just come and just say, oh yeah, I keep 10, I'm fine. Listen, this is an ordinance right here. Keep the Passover. Okay? And verse, we read verse 25. Verse 26, and it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by the service? That's what we're doing. That's what we're explaining in Lashawan, Qadash. When your children shall ask you, why do we keep the service? It's a commemoration that we smote the Egyptians. And that the Most High smote the Egyptians. And that we got out of that land, and he passed over us with the blood on the door and the lintel post, and said, well, now I'm not going to strike my children, but I'm definitely going after Kam or Ham or Matazarium or Egypt and anybody else that wasn't part of the children of Israel that wanted the protection of Israel. Hey, listen, this is your problem. Now you in trouble. Then it says right here, verse 27, that ye shall say, it is the sacrifice. He said, the Most High says, after the families. So, after the families of Israel. So, your firstborn, you dead. You ain't after the families of Israel. Let's check this out. That you shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's passed over. He passed over the house of the children of Israel. He passed over us. That means he didn't destroy us. He didn't smite us. He didn't nagap us, okay? That's what that means. Learning vocabulary words, right? That's what we're learning. that it is a sacrifice. Some say sacrifice. Let's put that word down. That's a new and exciting word here. Sacrifice. Let's find out what does that word mean? Sacrifice. That word in Hebrew is zabak. Okay? Zabak. Okay. Zabak. All right. Sacrifice. All right. Let's see. It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover. That means when you take that lamb. Let's read it here. Let's go back and read that where it was here. Right there. Then Moses, verse 21. Let me show you what that sacrifice is. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb. That's the sacrifice. That sacrifice right there, or that's zabak. That's what the Most High was talking about. Take a lamb, man, a male lamb, I'm pretty sure, and kill the Passover. You know, you don't spare him, you kill him. That's what this is saying. So zabak. Let's see that word right here. Za. Let's put let's see if I can get a za. We'll put it in paleo. Za, then we'll write a ba, and then we write a ka. So we write za, bak. Independent connection for za, and a dependent connector for the bak. Ooh. Slaki, just like that. That's how you write it. In paleo. Now in Assyrian, of course, we'll write some Assyrian here. Let's do some Assyrian here for those who want to see some Assyrian right there. So we say ba, and then we write ga, like that. Then we write pa. In this case, we have a pa. So now we need the ending character over here. So I'll put it in green so you can see it real well for naga, which means smite. So it'll look like this. Try to use green for the ending characters, I'm sorry. There we go. That is a pa. Right there. Na, ga. This is Assyrian right here. And this is paleo over here. For that word. The smite. Zabak. Let's write that. Okay. Za. Then we write a ba. Like that. Okay. Then we write a ka. Just like that. And that's the Assyrian. Zabak. And over here we write it zabak right there. I'll give you a chance to write that down, Ka. Okay? Because the Most High, it was a lamb. That's what that sacrifice was. You know, unblemished lamb. That's what we normally do right there. We take the unblemished lambs, you know, or the lambs in this case. And sacrifice it, man. You cut his throat. Lamb will sit there and let you cut his throat. You know, you got to go catch him, though. So, smoked and delivered, not to Zal. Why? Why is he doing this? Because he wants to deliver us. He wants... Let's see if I got enough room here. Yeah, he wants to deliver. He wants to deliver us, man. He wants to deliver us. We were delivered. We were R-E-D, sorry. We were delivered, okay? We were delivered out of that land of Egyptians there. That word is called natazal, all right? Na-ta-zal, to be delivered, all right? That's what it means, and delivered, or to be delivered. Either one was sacrifice right there. And then, of course, you know, you want to have the word na. You want to have the word na in paleo. We'll write it in paleo. Na. You want to write tazah. So we write a tazah like this. Tazah, and then we write an L right there. So it's na, then we write tazah. Okay? And then we write natazal. Okay? So you put the tazah and the L together, you get natazal. Okay? Natazal. All right? And then, of course, in Assyrian, we use another right here. We write a na like this. Na. We write the word right there. Get this out the way. Okay? Then we want to put the same identifier that we use for tazah. So we write this tazah like this. Like that. Okay? Now we got to write an L. Is it one of the ending characters? No. So we don't have to write an ending character right there. So it'll just be a regular L, just like that. And this is Assyrian, of course. Write that down in your books. Because once this means to be delivered, by the way, not as all. And of course in paleo, nagat, smite, smoke, nagat, and sacrifice a lamb or sacrifice is zabak. Sacrifice means zabak. You know, here it is in Assyrian here and paleo here. It's important to understand the two languages. It's important to understand what the Passover is representing and why these words, they mean something. Pasak, literally means Passover. That's what it means. Let's see, there's another word that's meant like that. Pasak, you could say, who passed. And the words also, you could say, instead of saying Passover, you can say the same, you can say, who passed. Who passed over us. That's why the word Passover comes from, Pasak. Because Pasak literally means to pass over, or who passed over. You know, and that was the Most High, of course. So that's why we call it the Passover. Is there any questions in the chat? I'm pretty sure you guys understand what that is so far. But that's what it means. When we write in the Hebrew, let's see, did we write the children? Yeah, this delivered, yeah, Nagat, Pas. Oh, we didn't write the word Matazarian. Let's write that one real quick here. Matazarian means, here's the name for Egypt, so we write, there we go. Let's delineate some of this right here. Yeah, like that, okay? Matazarian. Okay? Okay, so we're going to write Ma. That's M, okay? We're going to write Tazah. Write it like this. Ma Tazah. We're going to write a R there. Okay? And we want to write a Yah. Like that, okay? Then we want to write an M over here. So, because there's no ending connector here because this is paleo, remember? Now I'll have to make room to write it in a series so you can see the difference. Matter of fact, let's put it right here. I want you guys to understand the difference right here. Ma Ta-zar yum. Okay, now let's write it another color. We're going to write it over here. Okay, now that's paleo, of course. You know, I'll put a little P up there. And in Assyrian, over here, you write an M looks like this. Okay, ma, so it's important, okay? Ma, we're going to write the word tazah like this. Okay? Like that. Ma, tazah, then we have to write an R, of course, like this. Matazar, okay? Then you want to write where am I? Matazar. Oh, that ain't right. Yeah, that's right. Matazar, then you want to write a ya. Okay? Like this. Okay, and here is where right here, here's where the ending character comes in. I won't mess this one up. That's an M right there. So you have to go like this. Okay? Like that. So it's ma to za yum. This is Assyrian right here. And of course, over here is the paleo. Ma to za. And of course, we have to put the connectors on it. That helps. So we'll say ma. Okay, then we put to za, then yum, like that. Ma, independent sound. That's why it has that. Like this. Independent, dependent, and dependent. Okay? So it's ma to zar yum. So let's finish reading the story here. Let's see, where are we at here? Matazarium, okay? But that's, let's go back here. Let's read verse 21 again. Then Moses called all the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take the lamb according to the families and kill the Passover, okay? Kill that sacrifice, okay? Sacrificing, sabak. Kill that Passover. Why? Because it commemorated the time when the Most High passed over us and got to the cause, the Egyptians. Okay. If you notice, let me see. I think the word. Well, let's go back here. And the children of Israel went away and did as the Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. And that's what they did. And when they got up at midnight, of course, the Lord, and it came to pass that at midnight, all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, the firstborn of Pharaoh, sat on the throne, firstborn of captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle and so forth and so forth, and they wound up, dead. So that's what happened to them. Matter of fact, it says, and Pharaoh rose up in the night, right here in verse 30, all his servants and all the Matazarians, or the Egyptians, this word here, Matazarian, okay, Egyptian, and there was a great cry in Matazaria. A great cry in Matazaria, okay? A great cry, man, they wailing, man, for there was not a bayath, or house, that was not one dead. There was not one. And we'll write that, let's write that down here. See if we got room here. There was not one. Not one house where there wasn't a dead person in them Egyptians. Most High ain't playing around. That's why he told you to get yourself, the 12 tribes, in the house, so this can pass over you. Because that was not one house, man. And of course, that word in Hebrew, we'll use for the sake of saying Allah, Akkad. Akkad. I mean, you can't say this. I mean, there's other ways to say it this way. Say it, and then we'll say Bayath. Like that. La'akah Bayath. I'm saying it backwards. It's really, let me get it from. Let me do it this way. Let me do it the right way. Shvaki. La'a. No one. Akkad. Which means one. And house is Bayath. Not one house. All of them were dead. I'm saying not all of them were dead, but all the ones that had firstborn were dead, man. Just like the Most High said. But once he says something, La'akabayaf. When he says something, that's what he means. That's why it's important for us. In other words, what the Most High was doing, let's see, I got some room up here. We'll have to erase something out here. I'll erase it up top here. We know what this is. When the Most High says, go, that's what he means. He don't mean linger around. Yeah, when he says, get out of the house, Asap, okay. Okay. Let's see, what was I doing here? Not one house, Bayath, La'akad Bayath, okay? Not one house was left over there out of those Egyptians after they smote them. And that's what we're saying with these words here. The Passover, Pasak, to deliver, not to Zal, we were delivered. We're delivered out of the hands of our oppressor, man. And the Most High wants us to do this. He wants to do this. Separate. And that's what he was doing. Separate from I oppressor. Separate from the enemy. Enemy. Well, I spell that right? Enemy, yeah. That's what he wants us to do. And that cost that word, separate is badal. Badal. In this case, he wants us or you have to put a ka at the end. Right here. Right there. We'll let you guys write some of that down. He wants you to separate from the enemy. Let's finish writing this sentence here. But that's what he wants you to do. Badalka. It means to separate. To get out. Get away. But don't be with the Egyptians. In this case, don't be with any other nation. Because all they would do is turn you from following the Most High. And that's what he was really doing. After those years, 400 years plus, he was separating us. He was getting us out of Egypt, out of Martazarian, Badalka. He was separating us. And the Most High tells us to do that nowadays. He wants us to separate, He wants us to get out of the oppressor's land here. That's what he wants us to do. He don't want us to be caught up in Egypt and of course Ham. He don't want us to be caught up with the East Indians. He don't want you to be caught up with Esau or Edom or the white man. That's what this Passover really sacrificed. It was a commemoration that he passed over us, smote the Egyptian, but and one of the real emphasizing points is there, he was separating us. That's what the Most High was doing. And how our people don't see that, I have no clue. he was separating us. Let's see. Find my word here. There it is right there. He was separating us from the enemy so we won't be, we had enough of that customs. That's what the Most High was trying to do. To get us away from there, to get us away from, I think the word is ayab, from the enemy, right here. Let's see, we're gonna get it right here. Let's get it over here like this. I believe it's, yeah, there it is. Like this. That's what that word is, a yab. Okay? To separate from whose enemy? So let's look up the word the. Let's go over here and find the word the. It's ha. I believe that's let's see, if you want to say it all in one sentence there. Ha. It's a preposition, so we don't want to use a possessive. We don't use a preposition, so we want to say the enemy, so we say ha. We say ha up here, okay? And of course, that's spelled, like this. Like if you look over the chart right over there, the word ha, in this case, we're writing it out in Assyrian still. It looks like this. Got room on this board here, I tell you. Like that. Ha. Ha ayab. Okay? But dog. And of course we want to use the word to take from there. Look that up. Well, that's what they're saying. The Most High wants us to separate from the enemy, but Dalka. Because I'm going from left to right. Hebrew is written from right to left, of course, and it's ayab, hayab. Okay, I'm writing it in English backwards the wrong way. It should be written the other way, but anyway, what am I doing here? From. Okay, let's do. Let's see. Look, it's been a while since I used this particular word here. But anyway, yeah, there it is right there. Mayan. Mayan, okay? I'm going to use the word Mayan. Just like that, okay? And of course, to translate it, I want to say, Pasak. I want to say Mayan. I want to say, let me get this right here. Ma. Yeah, we're going to use like this. We're going to stay with the Syrian right here. Ma. Then we want to use Ya. Over here. Okay, and in this case, now we got a ending connector again. Remember, if you guys remember right, you're still with me in the chat over there. We want to use the ending connector right here, yan. So now you need that. Pasak. That's for Passover, okay? Now you need this. Mayan. So we'll use the word, and we'll translate Badalka real quick up here. Badalka, which means separate. Ba-dal, like this. Then of course you put ka as possessive adjective. Ka is a possessive adjective of you or your. So you want to say, instead of you separate or your separation, you just say badalka. That means in Hebrew, it's understood as your separation. Okay? So you want to say B right here, B, ba. Then you want to say a D, like that, sort of like that. Okay? Like a little stem. Maybe you got to look real careful there. Some of these words will fool you. Badal, and then you want to use L, badal, ba-dal, then you want to use the word ka. And so, so you look over here, you see a ka, and the Syrian, right here. Now, since it occurs at the end, now you have an ending connector over there. Now you have to use this one, right here. Just like that. That's the ka. That's what it looks like, just like that. Matter of fact, let me write it in a different crayon there so you guys can see that that's an ending character because it has the ka. Remember? Remember that right there in the audience there. Okay. It's important to understand that, so you get the gist and understanding of how we do things. So now we got on the board pretty much what the Passover meant. You know? And we got it written out into some Hebrew here. Of course, you know, we have the first thing we have is, of course, we have the Passover. We'll reiterate here. Let's give you guys a chance to write all that down. Passover, Pasach. There it is in Assyrian, but why not write it in Paleo also? This is Assyrian here. This is Paleo here. Now this is Assyrian here. This is Assyrian here. So in Paleo, we'll write it down in Paleo. Pa. Pasach. Pa, like that. Okay. I don't like that one. Let's make it look exactly right. I don't like that one. Let's do it this way. Like that. Looks like sort of like a J. Let's do it like this right here. That pa. That's what the word we're writing right here. See, Pasach, which means Passover. Let's get that one a little better. Okay, pa. Then we want to write a sa. We want to write a sa. Okay, Paleo looks like this. All right. Then we want to write a ka. We leave, and you don't have to write the rest of the A's over there. You hardly ever, when you see a word like that, you hardly ever on ka. You always chop off the ending there, especially when it's at the end there. And ka, in this case, let's see, is it over here? This ka. Where was I? Pasach? Yeah, it does. It's an ending character. So you have to go over here and look right there. There it is, right there. Ka. Just like this. Okay? In this case, let's reiterate. Let's draw it in another color so you can see that ending character. Is that what it is? Okay? There it is, right there. Pasach, of course. Damn, I'm sorry. That's wrong. I'm writing paleo. I'm getting myself confused here. I'm writing paleo here. I'm sorry. Paleo, you want to write just a regular ka. Right here. We already did it. We did this, got this wrong here. Ka, okay? Now let's go back over here. Pasach. Now let's do it. Okay. Okay. That's paleo right here. Now we got to use a ka right here. Like that. There we go. Writing back and forth, we can easily get these things confused. Anyway, pasak. That's ending character right there. Pasak. Over here is pasak. Same thing. Only you don't have an ending character right here. But now we need to do a translation. Connector. So we say pa, and we say ka. So pasak. I'm sorry. So we write an independent connector for the P here, for the pa. Then when we want to go to sa and the ka, we have to connect them to make a sound. So that's sock. You know, almost like a sock you put on your foot. But that's how you write it. So let's reiterate here. Give you guys a chance to write that down. We're going to go over this one more time. Let's see. How much time we got left? Let's see. Yeah. Then classes, it's just about over. Anyway, the Most High was really separating us from Egypt, getting us from all of the Egyptians. Okay, the Passover, Pesach, Egypt, bondage, slavery, Natazal. That's what that word means, to be delivered. Matazarium, okay, is Egypt, Egyptians. Okay, smite, smote. It's Nagap. Sacrifice is Zabak, of course. Not one house that did not have somebody dead in it from the Egyptians, because the Most High wanted to kill them and show Pharaoh a point. And that's La'a Akkad Bayath. So that ends class. And so we'll have some announcements right here. It's lucky for that. Ran a little over. If y'all still in class, clap it up. Let's clap it up for class. Clap it up for class. You're still in class. Just give some hand claps up there. Show that you got some hand claps going on there. And I'll read the announcements, okay? The security announcement, ISUPK. We are the ISUPK, started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. The rule for the new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. Okay? Very good, Adrian and Kazio. Glad you guys stayed in class. And write this down, on the Passover. Write that information down for you, okay? Salakia. With ISUPK started off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister, okay? There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering of priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever the amount you would like. Hold a convocation. Announce holy, Of course, like I reiterate, this is what this is about. In Houston, Texas, we're going to have the Passover, or the Pesach, okay? Passover. That's what the Most High commemorated and told us to do. All right? Passover, 14th day of the first month, Saturday, April 24, 2021, Exodus 12, 1 and 51. Leviticus 23, 4, 5. 1 Corinthians 5, 7 and 8. 2 Corinthians 30 and 17. Okay? If anyone wants to be a troop in the school and start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headband and scarf. And we're going to do a salute to all the Akim. Madam Shabbat, Madam. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barak Atham. For the sisters, you're going to put your hands together like that, of course. For the men, of course, you know you're going to do this. All the men stand, give a courtesy salute to the sisters, to the Akwathium, to the sisters. Madam Shabbat, Madam. Yahweh Shamar, Alatha, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatha. The Most High, I'll see you in Houston. Shalom.